at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, a Pep Guardiola who isn't too pleased with the points dropped here this weekend. But perhaps from a Tottenham Hotspur's perspective, Gary, I see your mood change in the studio, 0 to 100, pretty much flipped upon second half kicking off. What's changed about this Tottenham Hotspur in that second half?
Well, I don't know quite what was said at half-time in the changing room, but there was one big change, and that's that Romero came off. Apparently he had an injury. Sarr came on. That meant that Spurs decided to go with a flat back four rather than three central defenders and wing backs, and I think it suited them better. I thought Sarr in midfield brought some energy to it as well. And you know, sometimes when you've got three centre halves and you've got your wing backs sat in there a little bit deep, which is how Spurs were in the first half, you invite the opposition on. So I thought Spurs were a bit more positive in the second half. We also touched on the fact that, you know, what livens up the crowd? Is it the crowd have to motivate the players, or the players have to motivate the crowd? And we found out, didn't we? And that is that Spurs played really well in the second half. They played with energy, they played with commitment, they maybe got a bit of good fortune as well. And you heard the crowd get behind them. Yeah,
because the atmosphere really came alive in that second half, didn't it? I mean, from a player's perspective, what's the reason behind literally it's almost a Jekyll and Hyde in that first to second half?
Yeah, it was definitely a game of two halves. I don't know what the manager must have said at half time, but he must have said something serious and had a right go at them, because it was a totally different team that come out, and everything we spoke about at half time, they sort of put that into place. Yeah. And yeah, there was probably a draw was probably a fair result, and in the end, Tottenham had the second half, Man City had the first half.
Yeah, and you know, before the game, I was saying, like, if Tottenham could take a draw now, they would have to take it, because I really fancied Man City to win it, and it looked really ominous at half time. So from my perspective, for Spurs to get a point out of that, it's quite a miraculous outcome for them.
But I think what's surprising about that second half is just how positive they were, how offensive they were. To some levels, it almost looked a bit of a throwback to Ange ball at times.
Well, it did appear that they almost threw caution to the wind. I thought Xavi Simons was excellent, in particular, well, in the second half. You know, lots of energy, really positive, carrying the ball, asking questions. But, you know, surely Manchester City, John Joe, they must be kicking themselves, because, you know, they hardly broke sweat first half. They're 2-0 up at half time. I don't know what's going through Pep's mind at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know whether they've become complacent and found the game too easy and just come out and thought it'd be exactly the same, but players of their calibre should know that they're going to expect a reaction out of Spurs. But
they don't seem to have that kind of killer instinct anymore, City, do they?
Because when City would go 2-0 up 3-4 years ago, the game was dead. I mean, I personally switched the game off back home because the game was just dead. You knew what was going to happen. So to them to drop points like that and concede goals like that, then there's something wrong.